everyone, and happy Wednesday. Well, I was about to say Tuesday. That is crazy, but I'm actually very much so thrown off. It is almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I worked a half day today, so I went into work and I came home. I did not record my video in the morning because I stayed up late doing my sister's hair. As you can see from my background, my room's just a mess. I'm getting ready for this vacation. I'm just tired, you guys. I am tired, but I'm excited. I'm freezing, but it's nice outside. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of different things that on the physical sense, even if you were to talk to me like 3 to 6 months ago, I would be very upset. I would be extremely upset that I was so sleepy and I couldn't take a nap. I would be extremely upset that it was cold outside because I do not like cold weather. But I feel like lately I've really just been trying to push forward and find the happiness in everything, because there is. I think that if you dwelled in situations long enough, then all you're going to see is the negative portion or the negative side of that situation or the negative side of people. But if you are determined to just live a blessed and more fulfilled life, you are seeing the positive things in everything. And that's honestly what happened. I had a mindset shift and I'm determined to live a purposeful and a blessed and a more fulfilled life. So I am starting to notice that I am looking at the positive things in life instead of always dwelling on the negative things, because negative things are going to be there, but I don't want to be there with them. And that's just down on that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the goal for today. As always, God is blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. Today's goal is to be unique. Okay, be unique. And if you were to ask me to describe what unique meant before I looked up the definition, I would say, oh, like it means that they're just different, like they're one of a kind. And I think, though, that is a portion of that definition, but to be unique doesn't mean that you are just like different. It doesn't mean that you're just one of a kind. It means that you are the example for something. So there is, like, if we're describing ourselves as unique, that means that I am as an individual am solely the only person that God blessed to do certain things. The gifts that He's given me, the purpose that He has given me is unique to me. That means no one else is going to have the same purpose, the same destiny, the same goals or anything like that. It's very similar. You can have similar things, but nothing else is going to be the same, because God made me a unique person. That means even though we may look alike, we may both have brown skin, we may both be rocking braids, we may both have, astigmatism, we are still not the same person. There's still going to be some unique identifiers about us that God is going to choose to use in order to bless other people. So today, when we're talking about being unique, we are trying to figure out what those unique identifiers are. What is it that God has placed in you that He hasn't placed in anyone else, that He wants to use from you to help bless other people? Okay, so that honestly goes back to what your purpose in life is, what your gifts are, if you know them, and making sure you're using all of those things together to be that unique individual in order to not only live a more blessed and fulfilled life for yourself, but also to help other people live a blessed and fulfilled life. There are some attributes in you that people are waiting for you to bring out. I think I went to church one time, and I either heard it at church or I read it somewhere. I can't remember, but it did say that it said something like, I'm gonna butcher it, I know, just because I'm not too good with quotes. Like I could remember like, oh, it kind of said something like this, but I can't remember it word for word all the time. But it was along the lines of the things that people are waiting on you to reach your full potential so that you can be a blessing to them. So you reaching your full potential is not just for you, sis. It's not just for you, sir. Like, you reaching your full potential, of course, it's going to have a positive impact and a grand impact on you. But just think of how many people are waiting for you to do what you say you were going to do. If your goal is to open up a business, just think of how many people are waiting on the unique side of how you are going to prosper in that business. Like a clothing line, for example. I'll say like a clothing line, because there are so many clothing lines that are coming out. Not just clothing lines, but like, I feel like different like pop-up shops. There's so many different people that are coming up with different brands for clothing. Like my brother, for example, has a clothing line. Shout out to CEO. Go follow him at CEO_365. His clothing line is amazing. But anyway, there's so many people that have the idea to be an entrepreneur in the clothing industry. So whether that's distributing clothes, whether that's coming up with a clothing brand, whether that's being some type of fashion ambassador, whatever, fashion brand ambassador, excuse me. There's so many people that have that same vision. The unique thing about each individual is that no one clothing line is set up the same. No one clothing line has the same goals or the same intent or is created with the same purpose. So the things that God has placed in you that are unique to you, for those people that are entrepreneurs for clothing brands or, whatever it is, you really have to make sure that you understand those unique things. And of course, and allow that to push past the similarities that you may see among other people. Like, you think people who came up with a clothing idea were like, oh, I really want to do clothing, but there's 5 other people that are doing clothing brands that I know, so I'm not going to do it. No, if God told you to do that clothing brand, do that clothing brand. Okay? Because you are bringing something unique to the business or to the fashion industry that no one else has thought of. And people are waiting for you to do that. So don't sit on it. And that, of course, goes for the clothing brand example, but it also goes for people who want to start different things. Like before I started this YouTube channel, honestly, I think I said at the beginning of the year or last year when I announced it, I was so nervous about starting this because I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that talk about similar things that I talk about. I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to be the same thing as anybody else. But one day, literally, I think it was whenever I read that post or heard that in a sermon at church or whatever, people are waiting for the unique side that you are going to bring to whatever industry you're going into, regardless of if you think it's redundant or repetitive. If God told you to do it, it's unique to you. So do that thing. All right. So yes, that is a goal for today, is to be unique. There was a lot packed in there. There's a lot. I kind of spoke to myself on that too. But yes, that is a goal for today, is to be unique. I hope everyone has a good rest of the Wednesday, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.